The recent announcement that Braun Strowman's WrestleMania moment is going to be his appearance in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal has some fans wondering how long before the monster among men becomes a featured player on Main Event. Join us now as WrestleLamia examines the rise and fall of Braun Strowman. With a background in strongman competition and a height and musculature that likely had Vince McMahon breaking out in a sweat, Strowman was a natural hire for the WWE and trained at the WWE's Performance Center after signing a contract with the promotion all the way back in 2013. Looking at Strowman's earliest days, perhaps the WWE was giving the WWE Universe a cruel prediction of Strowman's future when he had the big man debut as one of Adam Rose's rosebuds. While many successful WWE superstars have started in offbeat roles, whether it's Alexa Bliss's appearance at Triple H's side at WrestleMania 30, or CM Punk playing a gangster for John Cena's WrestleMania 22 appearance, Strowman's current status can't help but make you think this was one of Vince McMahon's meanest jokes on fans since the gobbledygooker. Nevertheless, it transitioned into a strong start. Despite his questionable time as Rosebud, things started off well on 24th August 2015 when Strowman made his main roster debut by attacking Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, establishing himself as the newest member of the Wyatt family. At the time, the Wyatt family was still a successful gimmick, and Strowman's role alongside them indicated that WWE had faith in his potential. Strowman was a dominant force in the Wyatt family, and on his own as seen when he eliminated 5 opponents at the 2016 Royal Rumble. The WWE hinted at a pending one-on-one showdown between him and Brock Lesnar, an encounter that the WWE wisely held off for some time. Perhaps sensing it was the time to test Strowman's potential as a single star, they separated him from the Wyatt family after the 2016 draft, with Strowman going to Raw. There, he dominated the scene, enjoying an undefeated streak that made it clear the WWE was pushing him as an unstoppable force. Strowman bullied his way past smaller opponents such as Sami Zayn, but he was about to face his first real test, as in 2017, it was the year of the monster. The 2017 Royal Rumble was the beginning of a huge program for Strowman that saw him interfere in a no disqualification match between Roman Reigns and Universal Champion Kevin Owens. With Chris Jericho suspended in a shark cage above the ring, it looked as if Reigns would finally triumph. However, Strowman ruined Reigns' hopes, setting the stage for a brutal feud. Reigns competed in the Royal Rumble match that night, eliminating an amazing 7 opponents. After Reigns and Strowman interfered in each other's matches, Strowman and Reigns locked up at 2017's Fastlane event, with Reigns defeating Strowman, inflicting Braun's first pinfall loss. An unsuccessful appearance at the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal was just a bump in the road, as the WWE took the Strowman-Reigns feud further when it featured one of its hottest angles in years. On 10th April 2017, Strowman attacked Reigns during an interview. The vicious attack saw Strowman destroy Reigns, resulting in him being stretchered to an ambulance. Strowman's assault was only the beginning, as he hurled a gurney off a loading ramp, further injuring Reigns. Reigns was loaded into an ambulance, but his woes weren't over as Strowman lifted the ambulance, knocking it onto its side. All the while, the fans in attendance chanted "Thank you, Strowman," a sign that not only was the babyface Reigns act not working, but that Strowman was a star on the rise. The feud continued at April's Payback pay-per-view, where Strowman pinned Reigns after a high-impact battle. Big things were in store with Strowman planned to battle Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at the WWE's Great Balls of Fire event. However, an elbow injury sidelined Strowman, keeping him out of action for 2 months. Despite his absence, Strowman was positioned as a monster heel, capable of defeating any opponent. Strowman would however return early and fight Roman Reigns at the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view, defeating him in an ambulance match. As SummerSlam approached, the internet wrestling community predicted Braun Strowman would be Universal Champion sooner rather than later. The monster among men's popularity continued to grow, and a babyface turn seemed inevitable, as did a championship reign. At SummerSlam, Strowman, Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns competed against Lesnar in a fatal 4-way for the Universal Championship, but Lesnar managed to retain by pinning Roman Reigns. Unaffected by the SummerSlam match, Strowman finally got his one-on-one match against Lesnar, challenging him at September's No Mercy pay-per-view in Los Angeles. The 9-minute match saw Strowman lose to Lesnar after a single F5. After months of build-up, wrestling's monster among men now looked like a mere mortal. Although the match utilized Lesnar's amateur talents to show the big man was forced to counter Strowman's power with technical skills, Strowman falling in one F5 made him look like just another one of Lesnar's victims. After months of speculation of whether the WWE would turn Strowman face, the promotion finally set up an angle where Strowman joined forces with The Miz, Cesaro, Sheamus, and Kane to take on Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Kurt Angle. During the match, Strowman's teammates turned on him, turning him face after months of cheers from the fans. Strowman then embarked upon a program against Kane, dominating their feud, but now he started to stumble. By this point, it was clear that the WWE was uncertain on what to do with Strowman. A triple threat match at the 2018 Royal Rumble between Strowman, Kane, and Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, who else, featured a predictable ending with Lesnar pinning Kane. Strowman ended his feud with Kane on Raw in a last man standing match, leading to February's Elimination Chamber match. Strowman competed against Roman Reigns, The Miz, John Cena, Elias, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor to determine the #1 contender for the Universal Championship. Strowman managed to eliminate 5 opponents before falling to Roman Reigns. His loss indicated he was going to play second banana on Raw as long as Roman Reigns was around. With Strowman out of WrestleMania 34's main event, fans wondered what role he might have. When he single-handedly won a tag team battle royal defeating Titus Worldwide, Rhino and Heath Slater, The Revival and the Good Brothers, fans speculated who the big man might team up with. In a strange turn of events, Strowman revealed his partner at WrestleMania 34, picking Nicholas, a young fan out of the audience. Actually, he turned out to be the son of WWE official John Cone. The comedy spot was short-lived as Strowman relinquished the title the next night due to his partner's grade school commitments, keeping him from being able to defend the belt. While his tag team title win was good for a few laughs, it symbolized the WWE's ill-advised move to push Strowman as a comedic player. While he may have a gift for comedy, something he showed during his time on the strongman circuit, the WWE's typically unfunny writing hurt rather than helped his character. But could he make a comeback? With Roman Reigns still being pushed as Raw's #1 babyface, Strowman faced an uncertain future. However, events seemed to be going his way when the WWE gave him 2 high-profile wins. The first was his victory at the Greatest Royal Rumble, where he eliminated 13 opponents, even breaking Roman Reigns' record for throwing out 12 opponents in the regular Royal Rumble. The second was when Strowman won 2018's Money in the Bank ladder match, earning a guaranteed WWE Championship match. With Lesnar still holding the Universal title, it seemed as if Strowman might finally secure his first World Singles Championship. After throwing back the challenge of Kevin Owens at SummerSlam in a match where Strowman put his Money in the Bank briefcase on the line, he challenged the winner of the main event between Roman Reigns and Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. But Strowman was unable to cash in the briefcase due to an attack by Lesnar during the match. Roman Reigns won the championship in a match highlighted by a lazy effort from Lesnar that did nothing to put over Reigns, and Lesnar's attack on Strowman made the would-be challenger look like a sap rather than a crafty contender. It seems that this ultimately led to creative woes, as the next night on Raw, we saw a bizarre turn of events as Strowman attempted to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase against Reigns, only to be laid out by the Shield. The move might have worked had the Shield worked as tweeners, but instead, the WWE chose to turn Strowman heel the next week. After announcing he was cashing in his contract at Hell in a Cell, Strowman teamed with the Universal Champion against Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, only to attack Reigns. The sudden turn made little sense as the Shield were the ones acting heelish, yet the WWE portrayed them as babyfaces. Nonetheless, the WWE had Strowman ally with Ziggler and McIntyre over the next few weeks. At the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, Strowman and Reigns' match was cut short when Brock Lesnar attacked both men, leading to a no contest. Once again, Strowman played second banana to Reigns and Lesnar. A 6-man tag team match at the Super Showdown event featured Strowman teaming with Ziggler and McIntyre against the Shield, with the Hounds of Justice getting the win. Frequent turns are both a bad sign for a wrestler's career and an indication that creative has no idea what to do with them. Following Roman Reigns' unexpected sabbatical from wrestling due to the reoccurrence of his leukemia, the WWE held a match at its Crown Jewel Super Show to crown a new Universal Champion. WWE turned Strowman babyface, apparently feeling a match between him and Lesnar would be better as a face versus heel confrontation. But whatever the reasoning, the match was a complete disaster, with Lesnar easily dispatching Strowman in 3 minutes after a pre-match attack by Baron Corbin, and it paved the way for 5 F5s and a pinfall. The WWE managed to undo years of building Strowman up into a monster wrestler within a matter of months, thanks to poor booking, including frequent and confusing turns, as well as losses in important matches. Strowman's 3-minute loss to Lesnar bordered on a squash, and his subsequent program against Baron Corbin was hampered by another elbow injury and another surgery. Strowman defeated Corbin after returning at December's TLC event, but the WWE continued the feud, dragging it out until after the 2019 Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Corbin has been booked unevenly since he failed to successfully cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase against Jinder Mahal, and Strowman's arduous program against a second-rate opponent only hurt his character even more. A Royal Rumble match against Brock Lesnar was announced, but the WWE had no intention of having it, as it felt the Lesnar-Strowman matches had been run into the ground, instead putting Finn Balor into the match after Strowman was written out of the match for destroying Mr. McMahon's limousine. Currently, Strowman's booking has led to an uncertain future. With WrestleMania 35 nearing, the WWE continues to treat Strowman as an oddity, putting him into insipid comedy angles such as the recent one on Raw, where Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update anchors Michael Shea and Colin Jost visited the Red Brand.
Is any of this stuff even real?
This unlikely feud led to Joe sending a brand new car to Strowman as a peace offering, a gift Strowman quickly trashed, all for the sake of promoting a toy. Now, Strowman has declared himself for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, proclaiming it will give him a chance to take out all his opponents at once. After an undefeated streak in 2016, an epic feud with Roman Reigns in 2017 and a promising first half of 2018, Strowman has quickly been reduced to not only a second-rate comedy figure, but someone who beats up second-rate comedians. What happened to Braun Strowman? According to a Forbes article, WWE has a history of booking big men as upper mid-carders rather than consistent main eventers, a fate that could befall Strowman during an era in which fans prioritize quality in-ring work and in which Strowman is limited in that regard. It's also important to keep in mind that Strowman is already 35 years old, which isn't old in wrestler years, but he isn't exactly a spring chicken either, and could see his impressive athleticism quickly drop off in the coming years. Nevertheless, at one point, Strowman was main eventing house shows to tremendous success and pulling in substantial numbers on the WWE's YouTube channel. Now he's just another big man who's been misused terribly and whose best days may have passed. Well, there you have it, guys. Braun Strowman's amazing rise to the main event, followed by his subsequent dive into mediocrity. Do you think WWE can salvage Braun's career? If so, how? Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.